I'm sorry, we were so late to record.
No, I literally have nothing to do today. My second class was canceled. What are you?
The tea time alarm went off.
Way, woman who be thinking we soft, we don't play. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hold up. Hey, woman who be thinking we soft, we don't play. We gon' rock it till the wheels fall off.
I look so
Hello,
cool.
and welcome to episode 18.
18.
Lance Stroll.
Oh yeah.
We had a lot of these
I
episodes.
was gonna be like our channel's officially an adult, but sure.
Episode
That
Lance
also
Stroll.
works.
Episode Lance Stroll. That's the title.
Yes.
It's actually not. Beth and I discussed calling this episode "The Winner Takes It All" because that's my whole TikTok.
Yeah, if I see one more edit of London Oscar to the winner takes it all, I'm throwing myself out of my
The
window.
winner
I
takes
can't.
it
I can't. This is actually criminal.
The loser standing
YouTube Beth is
tall.
lying. She won't jump out her window.
No. Well, she's gonna go talk to the creepy man in the Aldi car park.
No, that's actually there's such weird people here.
It was whenever Beth FaceTimed me at like 2 a.m. going, Lucy, what do I do? Someone's setting fireworks off at my building. And I was like,
they were setting fireworks off in Aldi.
live, laugh, love Aldi car park.
I love Aldi. I love Aldi. Live, laugh, Aldi.
Aldi doesn't exist here.
Oh, crap.
I love Aldi's. It's great.
No, you know what's better? Lidl Bakery.
I'm a
You
Lidl.
have that.
I love Lidl.
Some
But
places
Lidl,
have
no.
it.
Our Lidl is really weird, right? It's not like just, you know how most Lidls are just like a shop, like a supermarket on their own. Or they're in like, I don't know. But whatever, ours is in the middle of the city centre. Like, I kid you not, there's not like a car park there or nothing. It's the weirdest Lidl I've ever been in, but it has a bakery, so that's
When you come to visit me, I'll take you to our massive Lidl, and it's literally like so big it takes you about 5 minutes to walk from one side of the store to the other without stopping.
I love that. I want that Lidl.
Massive. I will take it.
Ours only has self-scan. It doesn't have tills.
Except the tills don't actually have like a bagging area, so you're like they're scanning your stuff, and you're like,
Yeah, you launch it into your trolley so you can go put it on like the little countertop.
That's exactly it. Okay, anyway, we were really off topic, and we are yet to discuss anything Formula One.
It's the sleep deprivation hitting us.
It was race week! Yay!
And it is still race week.
It's still race
But that was
week!
really aggressive. I'm sorry, guys.
We're being blessed. We're being
I'm
blessed.
so
We
happy.
survived! We did it! We did it!
No,
We
low-key though.
survived!
Low-key, I'm actually going to be so sleep deprived because I have early mornings every single day this week, and then every single day of the weekend, and every single day of the weekend just gone, no, I'm actually going to
Well,
not
to be
harm
fair,
myself.
the race
Hey, Mr.
schedule isn't too bad.
What's
Why is
the
there a
timings for
sprint
you guys?
At 3 a.m. The sprint race is
Yeah,
at
the sprint race is at 3 a.m. So free practice 1 is 3:30 to 4:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
Sprint qualifying is 7:30 to 8:14.
Yeah, I don't know why it's
specific.
44 minutes. Lewis Hamilton minutes.
So the sprint qualifying isn't that bad. The sprint then is at 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Qualifying is 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then the race is at 8 a.m. So it's only really the sprint that's like horrendously bad.
No, I actually think for me personally, these race times, like when it's like 6, 7, 8 a.m. start, are worse for me because by the time the race is done and I've watched like all the like interviews or whatever, it's time to get up anyway. So there's not like when we watched it this weekend, I could go back to bed at 7 a.m. and still get 5 hours of sleep and wake up and have the day. But by the time the race is finished, everything, it's like 10, 11 a.m. I can't really go back to bed.
But 7 a.m. is
Sure.
like a normal time to wake up.
No.
Okay.
Not if you're a college student.
I am.
Yeah, we all are.
Well, to be fair, I don't wake up at those times. But like, if I have to, like, I'm not like, oh, I have to wake up so early tomorrow.
I am.
If
I
I'm
will
saying
be.
I have to wake up early, it means I'm waking up before 6 a.m.
No, early is 7
If I'm waking
I'll
up
say-
at the hours of 6 a.m. and like 7:30, I'm waking up early-ish. And if I'm waking up anytime after 8, I'm not waking up early.
Because my first class starts at 11, so I'm usually awake by 10. Um, so early for me would probably be like 7:30.
See, I would say my earliest class starts at 10, but you have to be there. It takes me an hour to drive to uni. So I have to leave at 9, which means I have to wake up at like 7 because I need at least an hour's TikTok time before I.
Yep.
So 7,
I wake up at 7:30.
7's like my usual wake up time.
Wake up at 7:30. Leave my house at 8:30.
Anyway, it was
Right.
Australia this week.
Australian, mate.
I come from a London under.
Just do the whole
Oh,
episode.
I just realized this was not planned. We're gonna be so for real.
Did I just do my whole episode, the whole episode in an Australian accent?
You
Or is
did.
that-
I would
No,
actually
actually,
be impressed with you if you did.
No, because someone will get really offended. I can do that. I can do like my little accents so freaking easy.
I
don't wanna
mean,
offend
Good
anyone.
then.
if you can
I
keep
don't
it
want
up,
to
do
offend
it.
anyone because that'd actually be horrific.
I can't do an Australian accent. Beth has learned this. Beth tried to teach me an Australian accent. It did not work.
It's the only one I
But
can.
Beth can't do any other accent.
No, I can only do this
Australian.
one. I can only do this accent.
I tried to teach her Southern American, and I love talking Southern American. And
Hell yeah.
she was just like, "How do you do that with your voice?" And I was like, "It's fun. I love it."
What if we all just talk in different accents?
Should we just talk in different accents for today?
Oh gosh.
I'll go Southern. Beth, you can go Australian.
Oh god.
No, Brooke, I want your best London accent. English.
Can you do an English accent?
Go on, Brooke. Come on.
Read like a sentence.
Say hello and welcome to Lights Out, Let's Talk.
Oh god.
Hello, and welcome to Lights Out, Let's Talk. And in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about a racing in Oscarland. And
Oh god, no, I can't.
Oscar? What on earth is Oscar?
Oscarland? Nope.
Oscar.
Oscar.
To be fair, I actually know to get into whenever I'm doing like my acting things and I have to switch accents, I have like a little sentence that I say to get into it that just like triggers the accent. Same as like every time someone in England is told to do a Birmingham accent, everyone immediately goes, Birmingham? Like it's just your one word that gets you into it. My English has now started going, Oscar.
Oscar.
I don't know why.
That's why I'm right, Oscar.
Like my teacher would just be like, "Can you do it in English?" And I'll be like, "Oscar, that was way too hard, mate. Oscar, no." Okay, I'm ready.
Oscar.
Like I know there's a Goggles video where he's like, "Oscar, that was way too hard, mate." It just works. I don't know why. Anyway,
if it works, it works.
Beth is going to be doing this entire episode in an Australian accent.
No, I'm not. No, because I actually don't want to offend anyone. I don't know if anyone here is Australian. No, I don't want to upset.
It would have been more offensive if I had attempted it because I can't do it at all.
No, it's so funny. It's so funny when you were trying to do it the other day.
I was probably like, no words were coming out of my mouth.
Like Ricky
Like,
has
we
some
are
good
so off track.
We need to get back on track.
You know who else is off track? Every single driver this weekend. Lol, let's freaking go.
I wasn't going to finish the sentence, but Beth did.
Oh.
I was going to be like, we're as far off track as most of the freaking.
Do you know what, right? Can I just add this before we even start? Shout out Ollie Behrman, because did Bro spin once during that race?
You know what? I was just happy because all of qualifying, all Ollie did was give me negative points on my fantasy team, but he gave me one. He gave me one for the race.
The fact that Ollie had no laps, pretty much. Bro didn't do any sessions before.
Oh my gosh.
Bro was going through it, but he
finished his race.
He just needs time to cook.
And
Give him time. Give him time to cook.
Let him cook.
Okay, can we actually start talking
Yes.
race?
we actually start talking about Australia?
Australia,
mate.
Right. That's it.
Right.
Right.
FP1.
I'm gonna try it. Right. So we had we had a red flag for gravel on track.
Oh.
That's just not an Australian It just doesn't work. What
I
happened?
feel like you had it for a second.
Right. Let me get into it, mate. And I have to go up at the end of my sentences. No, I've lost it. I've lost it again.
You got this. You got this.
I can't do it.
It's quite hard with my nose being blocked. I don't know why.
It
Doesn't
goes.
hit?
Right. For free practice 1, we had a red flag for gravel on track. Nope.
On track. That corner.
Nope.
Corner where they added the gravel trap after everyone went off last year, catching everyone out. Every single person was going through it.
We'll just leave Beth to the
Gravel on track.
Australian's like literally one of the only accents I can't get. And I don't know why, because supposedly it's one of the easiest. And I can't get it.
No, you've got this, I believe.
One day
you'll be able to do it.
We had... Right, can you... Right. Australian. I'm Daniel Ricciardo. I'm Jack Doohan. I'm Oscar. I'm Oscar. Right. We had a red flag for Ollie through the gravel and in the wall.
Rest in peace. Come on, you got this. I believe you'll get it.
You're doing so good.
You're doing great, Queen.
Doing great, sweetie.
Keep on going.
Right.
Next point. Ollie
Through
Bad.
the gravel, went into the wall, red flag. That's it.
It's it.
Right. We had George Russell, had a little bit of spin.
I thought George was in the wall, but
he wasn't. He tricked us.
Prank.
He tricked us. But Lando, no.
Lando topped the timesheets, followed by Carlos in P2 and Leclerc in P. Why is it just Leclerc? Why is it Lando, Carlos, Leclerc?
Charles wouldn't fit. I was typing it on my phone and then it brought it to a second line and I was getting annoyed.
Charles is just
Carlos and Lek.
Lek?
Like the ice cream.
Right, yeah. I'm giving up on the accents now because I actually will end up offending someone.
Right. Leo, the condensation. Right. Did you see Mercedes did that TikTok in the rain?
Yes, I did.
It was great.
It was really funny. It
wasn't even in the right order, but
no, but it was good.
FP2. I have to admit, I didn't watch it.
Me neither.
I was sleeping.
I didn't either.
God, we're such fake fans.
Listen.
I stayed up for it.
I knew I was getting up at 5 a.m. to watch qualifying the next day, and then I knew I was getting up at 4 a.m. to watch the race. So is FP2 that important? No. All that happened was Lando overtaking Liam in the pit lane, and then posted their little beep beep. I'm a sheep. I said beep beep. I'm a sheep. That was it.
Liam was not happy with that.
I stayed awake for FP2, watched about 10 minutes of it, then went back to bed. Then went to bed because I was so tired.
To be fair, I had a friend over, so it was not really fair. We didn't go to bed until after free practice 1 because she stayed up and watched it. So I didn't think it was fair waking her up 2 hours later to watch it.
I actually had a friend over as well. Because she stayed up and watched FP1 with me. And then I wasn't going to wake her up. She was sleeping in the other room, but still.
We don't have
This is also her mug. She has mugs at my house. Because she stays here that often. So
that's true friendship. True friendship.
She has her own bedroom in my house.
No.
Okay, so yeah, FP2, nothing really major happened. We just had Lando overtaking Liam in the pit lane. Ollie's car was still getting work done, so he was not out. We had Leclerc topping the timesheets, Piastri in second, Norris in third. FP3. What?
I just.
You okay?
Yeah.
Right. Cry.
Anyway.
FP3. Ollie finally made it back out on track again, and then immediately went off.
Should we get my reaction up?
Oh God.
Just couldn't catch a break, and I feel so bad for him.
Bro, I felt so bad. Well, Beth, gets her reaction up. She's already got it.
This was me, Brooke. I don't know if you saw this.
I think it's best I turn it off and go to bed.
I did see that.
No, I'm actually done with Formula One this year. Done. No, I actually can't.
I think this one's the best.
Who's gonna get pole position now? He's on to me. Stop talking about him. Stop. My mute.
Stop talking about him.
Just a little guy.
We also had Liam Lawson with a power unit issue, and which left us with Piastri topping the timesheets, George Russell in second, and Max Verstappen in third. We also have a little sub note here that Red Bull were using different front wings across all 3 practice sessions, which I didn't realize, but Beth did.
So they're across the different cars as well. Like
Yeah,
both of them
Liam and Max were running them. Yeah.
I can't lie, I couldn't hear my TV because I was listening to it so quietly to not wake anyone up that there was no commentary, it was just visuals.
I only saw it online after because someone took pictures and Max had a fat one and Liam had a skinny one. So you think
they got me a fat Barbie, I want a skinny Barbie.
That's what their cars were like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we went on to quali, which once again, way to knock a man when he is down. Ollie Behrman with the gearbox issue. God, this episode, I wish we haven't already done an episode called Please Bear Man with Us, because
that would have been a clear winner for
I don't
this
want
one.
to talk about it. I don't want to be reminded. I literally
bruh, they got him back out for Q1 and he was just like, what?
Can't shift gears.
Unfortunately, I don't have a reaction to that. Maybe I do actually. It might be on TikTok.
So Q1, we ended up with Ollie in 20th with the DNF, Ocon in 19th, Lawson in 18th, Hulkenberg in 17th, Kimi Antonelli in 16th, and Lando went fastest.
That's my king. Woo! No, they were just my boys just wanted to put everyone in a sandwich, So Ollie had to take one for the team. So that
that's true.
That was it. That was it. We had Q2. We had Lewis with a little spin. I just have drivers versus the gravel because every single one of them were just like, ah!
They're just dipping a little toe in.
Oh. And then we also have George impeding Charles, which I don't think anything came of that.
I think so, no.
Which then left us with 15th Bortoletto, 14th Doohan, 13th Stroll, 12th Alonso, and 11th Hajar.
Sorry, I just realized.
The rookies were doing pretty well, I think.
They were.
I got to cross off a square on my bingo card for Gabrielle qualifying Nico.
Guys, if you look at that list, right, of who exited in Q2, only one of those drivers finished. And out of it, it's not the driver you would think would finish.
I did not even realize that.
But you were reading that
real.
off, and I looked and I was like, oh my God.
That's why I picked Aston Martin Green for my...
I'm an Aston Martin.
For once, the other driver drove into a ditch.
He finally got the lyric, He finally...
Yeah, he did. Anyway, Q3, we then ended up Lando Norris to be the first track limits victim of the year. A moment of silence.
Right, he had to take everything this weekend.
A moment of silence.
Wait.
But yes, our first track limits victim, Lando Norris, didn't really do anything to him. Can't lie, but
no.
he really had to earn that name last lap, Lando. So we ended up with 10th place Carlos, 9th place Pierre, 8th place Lewis, 7th place Charles, 6th place Alex, 5th place Yuki, 4th place George, 3rd place Max, 2nd place Oscar, 1st place Lando.
Sorry, Alex and Yuki just deserve the clap,
They do.
They do. They just wedge my tea in between my knees. And then the race began with a 4 a.m. wake-up call for us UK girlies.
The race then got delayed.
Why did it get delayed, Beth?
Isaac Hadjar just happened to find himself in the barrier on the formation lap. Those white lines were slippy. White lines,
were.
never a good thing.
The fact that all the drivers were saying as well, though, like this Albert Park, yeah, especially is really difficult in the wet because it is an actual road with white lines on it. And they're like,
Yeah.
see, the second you touch those white lines, like you're just hoping and praying that you don't end up in a wall.
I think all of the rookies were being told,
Not
just
told
to just
them.
like stay clear, try and
Well,
don't.
My dad is a motorcyclist. And I was taught he came down to watch the race. It was a jump scare and a half whenever the living room door opened at 4 a.m. And I was like in my little burrito, and I was like, I thought I'd woken him up. I thought I was about to get screamed at, but no, he just wanted to watch the race. But he was saying like the first thing you're taught whenever you're out like riding a motorbike is when it's raining, do not touch those white lines. Do not try to overtake people in the rain. If those white lines are wet, you will not stay on your bike. So, yeah. So very, very, very unfortunate for Isaac Hadjar. He got very, very upset. Understandably so. I've seen a couple of comments by a certain man I will not name saying that he should be embarrassed to be crying. I think you should be embarrassed. Well, that's getting cut.
You should be embarrassed to have the power that you have. There you
There
are.
you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. And then he was consoled by Lewis's dad.
Sorry. Yes, Anthony Hamilton comforted Isaac. I'm gonna keep that in as the clip, but I'm just gonna bleep all of it. Anthony Hamilton went on to comfort Isaac, and he came out after and said that like he felt like he just needed to say something to him. Which honestly brought a little tear to my eye.
I teared up.
In a world of Jos Verstappens, be an Anthony Hamilton.
Cheers to that. I don't have a mug, but
I do. Yeah, it's the interview of Isaac after where he's clearly upset, and then someone asks him, and he's like trying not to smile. He's like talking about it. He's trying not to smile because he should be sad. He's like, oh my god, my idol.
This is idol. Yeah.
It's okay though. But anyway, so yes, we then restarted the race 15 minutes later. Liam and Ollie had a pit lane start. And then
The safety car came.
the safety car came.
But you were building up. We're just gonna get to the point.
Sorry.
Just like the safety car did instantly.
Aston Martin. Safety car.
Bro, the safety car probably led more than Lando did. Wait, that makes it sound like Lando crashed. He didn't.
So the safety car skedaddled on out because Jack Doohan ended up in a barrier, and then next thing you know, Carlos Sainz is in the barrier as well.
He did that on purpose. He told me.
He told you?
He told me that he.
We're a total of like 4 laps into the race, and we are already 3 soldiers down.
I thought they were going to red flag it at that point, but you know what?
They didn't. They said, don't worry, we'll just go through the pit lane.
We'll just skirt around.
Also, do you not think that'd be so awkward? Like, I don't know whether this is just me, right? But see, whenever they were all going into the pit lane, and that's exactly where Carlos had crashed, imagine just watching all your friends continuing on through the pit lane going around you, and you're just like, hey guys, let me just hop out of the car.
Nah.
I don't know. That's
I'm
just...
like,
Either way, yes, we are now 3 soldiers down and not even 5 laps in. We then had Alonso and Tsunoda both noted for a safety car infringement, but also both had no further action. So, But they also didn't ever say what the safety car infringement was, or did they show it? It just came up at the top.
It was not leaving 10 car places.
Oh, was it? I just saw that it came up like safety car infringement.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's what they said on the commentary. It was they didn't leave 10. They didn't leave.
Well, I had no commentary because I was trying to be quiet.
Oh,
Then that's when they
Yeah.
showed the little graphic with the exclamation mark for the first time.
new graphic. Lol.
Yes, we
So
did.
cute.
That is adorable. I've got beef with the graphics.
Yeah.
Okay, first things first, I would quite like to see the difference between the cars because I was having to get my F1 app up to be like, right, how far ahead are these boys? Because there was like a solid like 10 to 15 minutes that they just didn't show any lap times. I was like, listen, if you can't look at that little screen and work out the NOR with the McLaren symbol as Norris, stop watching. Because, like, it just was their full names, like, for ages. I'm hoping it's because it's the first race of the year and they've done it for the casual watchers so that they can learn the rookies' names.
I
I'm
mean,
hoping that's why they've done it.
fingers crossed, or something just broke and they couldn't change it for like that period of time, but like it was annoying.
It was really annoying.
I missed
But
it.
I do like I like the little exclamation mark that comes up beside their name. And it's orange if it's being investigated, and then it's red if they get a penalty.
It's my new fave thing.
I thought that was quite cool. I was like, oh, I like that. So yeah, I actually really like that. But yeah, guys, give us the timer back, please. It was really upsetting. I don't know if I already said this, but Kimmy went for a little spin.
Slade though.
You spin
Same
me
spot that
on.
George did.
Then I also have that Alex and Lewis were also noted for a safety car infringement, but no further investigation either. So, slay, I guess.
Lol.
And then we had our first penalty given. And it was given to a rookie. It was given to none other than Gabriel Bortoletto
The little guy.
fifth release, which, to be fair,
It was.
to be
It was
fair,
pretty bad.
to be fair though, yeah. Just go look up the clip because it was quite literally.
Liam
Very,
Lawson,
very close.
which also Gabriel Bortoletto has to take it next race. I'm pretty sure because he didn't take it this one. For 5 seconds. I don't think he served it.
Unless they just put it on the
Oh, his time.
time.
No, because he didn't finish.
Oh,
Ah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has to take
that's
it
right.
next weekend.
spaghetti-o. And then BAM! Fernando Alonso in a wall.
My favorite. He just wanted to join in the
I'm an Aston Martin that you see straight into
the wall.
I bet when people saw him crash, they probably immediately was like, "Oh my gosh, Lance!"
Yes.
Hands.
God, Lance, there you go again. Oh, it's not Lance.
Oh, it's not.
It's not Lance. It was not Lance.
He's learned from Brazil.
He wanted to
Yes.
race this weekend. He
He
didn't want to
said,
be.
oh, if you go in the gravel, you DNF.
No, he needs to take advice from Oscar. What?
Anyway, that flows perfectly into my next note because my next note is quite literally was, what the f just happened to the McLarens?
Bro, no one knows what happened to them.
I think I was about to throw up when I
can't
saw
lie.
it.
See the way, I don't know if it was a different broadcast on F1 TV, but see the angle that Sky Sports showed it as? I thought they'd taken each other out.
Yeah, I thought they'd crashed.
I think it was the rain. Because
No,
I was
it was.
watching
It
F1
was.
TV, yeah.
They just took the corner and it was just the way the rain was and they were on slicks and they just went.
Yeah.
Because Charles was getting reports that it was Category 3 rain, and I'm sitting there like, and we're all still on slicks. Okay.
No, it was Ferrari. Don't know what that means though. For real.
They don't.
Yep.
It
I would like
it'd
to.
be a goddamn tsunami outside, and they'd be like, soft.
You know what? I would like to give a shout out to Max Verstappen because, right, one, when Oscar came onto the track, somehow didn't take Oscar out, which I thought was going to happen when I saw him.
Bro.
I
And
was
then-
so scared.
He still somehow managed to do his second lap after they told him not to box. Compared to how Lewis and Charles were doing on their slicks, right? Max slay because
Yeah, Max cooked hard.
He did.
I respected that. But yeah, the angle for Sky Sports that we got, it was literally just like we were watching all the back runners,
and it was just
and then it just cut, and both McLarens were in the gravel. And I was like, oh, what? And then
I
they
thought
didn't give us a replay for like a solid 5 minutes.
was stressed.
So I was sitting going, have they just taken each other out? What's going on? Can I see a replay, please? And then I realized that it was in fact that they just went, wee!
Yeah.
And then Oscar went wee through the gravel, got back on track, nearly got taken out by Max, went wee again, ended up in the grass, and couldn't get himself out of the grass and managed to whack that shit in reverse.
I thought that was over for him.
Well, the actual graphics for Sky
It
Sports
showed he was
came up that he
out.
was out. Yeah.
The same for F1 TV. It showed that he was out.
Yeah, so the graphics came up that he was out, and he said, never back down, never what?
Not during his home race.
Oh, it was the grandstands, like, screaming for him whenever he managed to get back on.
That's enough to make me cry.
Oh, that did make me cry. That was why I started bawling my eyes out. It was the fact that he was just like, even though, yeah, he didn't get a podium and the Australia curse lives on. The Australia curse is the new Monaco curse, guys. He still managed to finish the race, which I think is still very, very special.
It's amazing.
And he got points.
He did get
And he
points
got
though.
points. So we had our McLaren drama, which then dropped, landed a 6th, Oscar out, but then not out. And
I
then
thought it was over in that moment. I thought it was over.
it was the panic dive into the pit lane. That was why I thought they'd taken each other out, because Oscar was beached and Lando disappeared into the pit lane. And I was
And
just
Max
like,
carried on.
I was like, has he got damage? I was like, why? Whoa,
Yeah,
and then
no,
whenever he came out with the intros on, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I know because I was watching it and I was like stressed. I was like, why is Lando? No, because I think I text. I was like, why is Lando in the pit? Why is he in the pit? We fucked up the race once again. There were some not very nice words to the McLaren pit wall before I realized what had happened. Lots of very mean words coming out of my mouth towards the pit wall because I was like, why have we come in? Why? Because it was like a few back markers came. I think the Mercedes came in and all the back markers, but Max stayed out and the Ferrari stayed out. And I was like, we f***ed it. One, Max is going to win again. Look what you've done. And then I was like, oh, I take back my words. I take them back.
It was very funny. And then once again, boom! Liam and Gabrielle both in the barriers.
They were both still on slicks. We'll let them have a little bit of leeway.
Aston Martin that's having to work overtime.
Literally, we didn't see it for so long last year. And all of a sudden,
I know. And then we got a 5-second time penalty for Kimi Antonelli, which was then revoked. So
What was it for? I
Mm,
don't know if I remember seeing what it was.
Oh, it was for an unsafe release.
but Mercedes said in no way it was an unsafe release. Actually,
Yeah, it came up as an unsafe release, and I only remember that because my mum looked at me and went, so what has he just got a penalty for? And I was like, an unsafe release. And she was like, what does that mean? And I was like, he was released unsafely.
fact.
Okay, well, Austin.
In the words of Landon Norris, don't really know how much clearer I can make that, mate. But yes, so our finishing was Lando first, Max second, George Russell. You did that on purpose. You want just balloons for George Russell? George Russell came third, and I'm going to read it how they crossed the line and how it was originally scored. So it was Alex Albon fourth, Kimi Antonelli fifth, Lance Stroll sixth, Hulkenberg seventh. I don't remember. Eighth was Charles, ninth was Oscar, 10th was Lewis. We're only doing the top 10.
He doesn't need four of the cars behind them.
Alex and Kimi have now switched.
Yeah.
Who were the other four? Who came 11th? I don't remember the other four. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised he finished the race, to be honest. He looked like he was going off a few times.
UK.
Gone.
Yeah. There we go. That was the entire thing.
That was easy.
Sorry. But then, yes, Alex and Kimi swapped. So Kimi came fourth and Alex came fifth. And can we just say, fourth place on your first Formula One race? What?
He should be very proud of that.
I'm pretty sure he's the youngest person to score points on debut. I think.
You know what? I can believe it.
I could believe that.
He's like the second youngest to score points because I'm pretty sure Max won. Obviously, Max won. Max wins everything. And I'm pretty sure. Sorry. It's just talking about Red Bull. It really gets me. really triggers me. That
I think grinds her gears.
Really gets to me. And then I'm pretty sure it's Kimi is the youngest person to score points on debut. Yeah.
Slay! Okay.
Thanks for him.
All right, we have quick little debates that we're going to throw in because what is a Lights Out Let's Talk podcast without a little debate? So, my note that I just have is McLaren are cheating? ?
They're always cheating, bro. My illegal rocket ship.
Because it's back. It's back. Lando only won because his rear wing's illegal.
Bro, all the rear wings are illegal. No.
We can't have anything, apparently.
No, but yes, apparently McLaren are cheating again. And then, but the reason why this has resurfaced is because the FIA have released a rule for the rear wings in China that the gap has to be 0.5 millimeters, whereas it's usually allowed to be 2 millimeters.
Interesting.
They added.
But the photo for it was a photo of the McLaren rear wing, and now everyone's like, McLaren were cheating.
But it's actually like every team. So.
Yeah. So, bit silly.
Did they say why they were changing it for China?
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen this yet.
Probably because all of social media is saying that McLaren are cheating.
It's in another language, so I can't actually read it.
I can't read it. It's on Red Bull Racing Daily on Twitter.
Lol, obviously it is.
They were the ones who put in the complaint.
You know what, though? Yeah, it's actually so funny because, like, as soon as Red Bull now win, everyone's cheating, bro. Go sort your other car out first before you tell me you're cheating, mate. Why don't you use cheating methods to help Leon, okay? I swear he crashed at the same part that Isaac crashed at as well. I swear.
I think so.
I swear it's like the exact same place. Like, props.
Probably.
Hashtag Yuki to Red Bull, guys, bro. At least Yuki can finish a race.
Okay, anyway. Radio highlights. The water.
Let's add that to the words of wisdom.
Top tier.
A leakage. A leakage of what? My seat is full of water. Ah, yes, it is. Probably the water. Let's add that to the words of wisdom.
Good.
Beautiful. There was also a very funny Lando Norris radio between him and Will Joseph. Don't know who else it would have been between, but I don't know. I felt I need.
Him and Oscar. They were talking.
It was actually between Lando and Oscar.
Yeah, they had a proximity.
No, but Lando even said in his post-race conference, he was like, Will and I were just having story time. He was like, I don't think we stopped talking the entire race.
I love that for them.
But Will was just like, he was trying to work out what sort of like tires to get ready or something. And Lando's like, no.
Put them away.
We don't need them. Put them away. And Will was like, don't think I'll do that just yet. Really made me giggle. It was very funny. Did y'all have any standout radios? There weren't really any standout radios, can't lie.
Just the Charles one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Listening to Oscars after he went off, which, sorry, that was really horrible. He's off, but Tom is still going, come in, box. As Oscar's like in the grass.
Oscar's like, ah!
Oscar's not saying anything. And then he goes, okay, if you can get out, then box, please.
Oh,
that one did make me giggle a little bit.
Okay. And that brings us to the end of sunny and rainy Australia.
Australia, mate. Oscar.
Australia.
I love Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar. No, that sounds... Don't like Stra. Andrea Stella. Ugh.
Oh, we don't even want to talk about Andrea Stella. Apparently he didn't go to the podium.
He did not go to the podium, no.
Wait, I want to add something.
Go on.
McLaren did not use papaya rules. McLaren did not use team orders. Everyone, please shut up, because I'm not having this debate. Thank you for the person on TikTok who told me that I'm talking some sense, because they right. I'm gonna clear the air. Because it's really irritated me. Right, I got all these people. They didn't let Oscar win his home race. They're such haters. They love Lando. Shut the up. I censored that for you. Be proud. They told them not to race, right? They told them not to race while they were overtaking the back markers. Do you know why they do that? Because some of you clearly don't. So they don't take each other out or take a back marker out. Because if they do that, they're not going to get any points, are they? Simple.
I can understand the initial confusion, because the only thing that was hard over the radios was Oscar hold position. So at first,
okay.
For the first moment, I went, why is Oscar holding position? But literally, like, a minute later, not even, the radios come back over with, like, okay, like, you're free to race.
I can tell you exactly how long it lasted. Give me a second. Let me just get my fact sheet up.
She's got the receipts.
I got the freaking receipt. Give me 1 second. I just got to find them.
Fact. Anyway, while Beth gets this up,
Where's the receipts?
While teams are overtaking back markers, that is why Oscar was asked to hold position, because if he had have tried to go for an attack, anything can go wrong, especially because it was a wet race. It is so easy, and especially because, without sounding horrible, the back runners are rookies. Do you know what rookies love? The barrier. So, as
we've seen,
they were overtaken Ocon, Behrman, and Lawson, bro.
Like, I'm not one of these people, like, I've seen people already on social media, and I don't know why. In my head, it might be because the rookies are, like, younger than me, but I feel, like, protective of them. And I'm seeing people being like, like, already proving that they don't deserve a seat. And I'm like, you do it.
It's the first race of the season.
Do you want to know what rookie means? Rookie means they're new. It means they're learning. And do you want to know how you learn? By making mistakes. Right. If you went in there and you got everything perfect first time, see your precious little Max Verstappen, why was he not a world champion in his first year of Formula One then? Because you learn. You learn by doing. Shut up.
Right. Anyway, shout out
Beth, I'm still speaking. Be nice to the rookies, okay? They deserve a little bit of time and appreciation, and they've already got so much pressure on them. So much pressure. They've gone from basically no one but the people at the track and fanatical motorsport fans watching Formula 2. Not a lot of people watch Formula 2. They have gone from having to 10 times the eyes on them as before, 10 times the social media followers, and do you know what else that means? 10 times the hate.
Yeah.
Okay? Let them breathe. Let them learn. If we put you behind the wheel of a car, every single person right here in the world that has ever learned to drive a car, did you get behind the wheel and you knew exactly how to do it first go? No. You had a driving instructor. You had either your mum or your dad yelling at you, or you paid someone to yell at you. But you had a driving instructor, okay? No. They don't have this. They have their engineer in their ear going, la, 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 la. They're learning. an F1 car is significantly faster than a Formula 2 car. So be nice. Anyway.
Preach.
That's my
Amen.
threat of the day.
Yeah. If I see one more person being mean to Ollie Behrman, it's actually on site. Anyway.
Bro, literally, I've seen like so many people remove him from their fantasy team and being like, "Cause he's," and I'm like, no.
He's my Pookie.
He had a little whoopsie-daisies because it was wet
baby
and it was
boy.
raining. I'm not driving at 200 miles an hour, but even when I'm going over the back roads in my little Vauxhall Corsa, when it's raining, I don't go 60 miles an hour on the back roads. You want to know why? Because I like to live. And I don't fancy skidding off into next week. Okay? Let them live. Proceed, Beth.
Anyway, shout out, big up Mysterious Turnip on Reddit. I just gotta give him a shout out because they spoke sense to him. Right? They were holding positions for a lap and a half, right? Okay, bearing in mind, right? Let's just think there was 57 laps. They still had pretty much 55 laps to race. While they were passing the back markers. Because they were having to go off the dry line. And McLaren didn't want them to take each other out or take a back marker out. Because what does that mean? No points. And McLaren need to win because I told them so. As soon as they passed the back markers, which took a lap and a half, there was only 3 cars. Okay, 3. And trust, you did not. Those back markers were slipping and sliding everywhere. They were told they could fight. By the time the radio messages were played, it was over. Oscar was still in Lando's DRS because they were lapping the cars. Literally, if you saw on the screen, they went past like Ollie or Esty Bestie, I can't remember who, literally together. But Oscar dropped out of DRS because he made a mistake and went wide, which let Lando get his 3-second gap. Not because Andrea Stella was sat there and said, you know what? We want Lando to win this race. We love Lando. Lando, please win. They didn't say that. This isn't papaya rule, so everyone please shut up. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks. Sorry. It really angered me yesterday. It really, really irritated me. People being so stupid.
People are stupid, and that's okay, Beth. Just let them be stupid.
It's fine.
Okay, it is time to move on because we have 7 minutes left of this podcast. To our China predictions. Okay, right. Who's going first? Beth normally cooks something up for this.
Lucy, you're right first, right? Guys, I'm giving everyone, if you get a prediction right, you're going to get 5 points. We're going to see who gets the most points at the end of the year. And I would like to say I'm
like
leading
this.
because I was the only one who got it right last week, so thanks. What? I literally right. What do you want me to say?
Papaya rules, you.
5 points per correct podium.
Got none of them right. Because you said Carlos, he ended up in a wall. I said Lewis, he ended up like 10th.
Yeah, I had Lewis on my list too, so we didn't
You said Lando, Oscar. I said Oscar, Lando.
I knew that my boy was going to pull through. Well,
I didn't expect my boy to go, wee! But here we are!
Go on then, Lucy. Anyway, you're first on the list. So.
Poor China.
China. No, wait.
You know what? I'm going to say, based on interviews, Lando seems very confident going into this race week.
Yep.
So
let's break.
I'm giving Lando another win.
You're giving him another win. You didn't even have him last week.
I'm giving him another win.
She's thinking.
I'm going the same podium as Australia. Lando, Max, George.
Lando, Max.
No, swap George out for Oscar actually, because Oscar's not going to go wee this week. Well, I hope he does actually, otherwise he'll get a UTI. But
lol, can relate. It's not even a lie. That's not the funniest thing. Is
that was a mad statement.
That's crazy for me.
That is as good as my Max is coming on Oscar video.
That is crazy.
All the stress.
I think that's so funny. He's like, what?
It's the way I realised.
Like, that was a madness.
Max is coming on Oscar. Whoa, that was a mad sentence.
Right, we are running out of time.
Go on, Brooke.
I'm going to go Max, Lando, George.
Oh, she's betrayed her man of papaya.
I
It's
have.
fine, Lucy, because do you know what? Fake fan. You think Max is going to be able to drag the Red Bull back up, bro? He only did. He had the what? He had the
He used all his magic pixie dust.
Anyways, I'm going to go. Obviously, my king, Lando Norris, P1. Because I got to back him every single race this season. Well, maybe a few that probably won't. Anyway.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, McLaren don't
Who
like
said
that.
that?
We don't have to talk about that. P2, Oscar's going to have his redemption arc.
He is.
He's going to come back strong. But I still think Lando's going to be like million years down the road. He's already finished the season by the time everyone else crosses the line. Because, illegal. And then P3, I was stuck between whether I go for two people. But I'm gonna stick Mr. George Russell. Because George the Mercedes actually looked quite good. So
It does.
And if Ferrari don't sort themselves out, they're still behind, they're going to be still behind Sauber in the points. So
I lose.
I would like to give a little shout out this week to Alex Albon, Lance Stroll, Nico Hulkenberg, and Kimi Antonelli, because none of those people were the people we were expecting to be in those positions. So
they killed it.
Well,
can I give a small shout out to Carlos Sainz for helping the strategy on the Williams pit wall?
Yeah, king.
Yes. Can you give like a small shout out to Carlos Sainz for bringing that safety car?
Can I give a small shout out to?
Okay, we're going to be really quick now with our meme of the week because we only have 2 minutes left.
1, 2, 3.
My meme of the week fits the confusion that we all had with our third place person on the podium this week, but I feel like it fits.
He's separating the water because he was going to go fast for it. King.
Man did nothing and made it on the podium.
Bro, I told you George Russell gets the podium in the weirdest of situations.
He really does, and we love him for it.
Brooke, go.
I just like this picture of Fernando. That's it.
Oh, that was funny. I rate it. Harry came out. He was living his best life.
I just like that picture.
My one goes out to all my Lewis and Charles fans because you're depressed in Ferrari this week.
It's unfortunate.
I did, to be fair, my friend is a Lewis fan, and the text that she got at 6 a.m. was, "Sorry you have to deal with Ferrari strategy, sending you my love."
Okay, we deal with McLaren strategy last year. So.
At 6:09 a.m.
Okay, guys. That's us this week. We're going to wrap this up.
DJ.
Anyway, we will see you guys next week after China, and then we got another 3-week break.
No, I think we only have 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, then we have a triple header. We have a race on Easter. We have a race on Easter. Oh, how are they going to have Easter dinner?
Crazy.
How are they having Easter dinner if they're racing? That's so sad.
They're clearly just going to have a driver's dinner on Easter.
No, they're going to stop the cars.
So
they're going to stop the cars. They're going to pull the cars into the pit lane, quickly have their Easter dinner, and then get out.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Lando told me.
Oh, it's okay.
Disney.
2-week break. That's okay. And then, guys, we're actually really close to the anniversary of Lando's first win.
I know.
Oh my gosh. That's my graduation
back
weekend.
to 5:05. It's a 7 hour.
On the beach to the break of dawn. I'm going to Miami.
Florida, it's one hell of a drive.
And all the other Lando songs, but we will see you guys next week.
You see, you're very close to the camera.
We will see you guys next week.
Edna mode.
For who are you? What do you want? My God, you've gotten fat. We will see you guys next week for episode 19. Wild. They were already
We
don't have
crushing it.
Don't have a job.
doing so well. Anyway, bye.
We don't play. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hold up.